Hi everybody, Pastor Kirk here on a 100-degree afternoon in September. A man was walking through the church parking lot. He stood under the shade of one of our trees, his terrier panting listlessly and refusing to take another step out into the heat. I love this weather, don't you? Hey, last Sunday was a spectacular launch of our volunteer revolution with hundreds of people heading over to the Ministry Expo and signing up to help with our church ministries. Wasn't it fun just watching all that positive energy and excitement as our people milled around and explored hundreds of volunteer opportunities? Over 50 ministries were represented, and you can go to our website to see a slideshow of the winner of the Best Table Award, which was the facilities department. We haven't finished tallying all of our sign-up sheets yet, but facilities had over 50 volunteers to help with upkeep and repairs. Wednesday night Acts dinner, over 50 people signed up. 20 instrumentalists signed up for a new Fair Oaks Press orchestra, 10 new worship band musicians, 20 new choir members, 40 volunteers for children's ministry, and that's just the beginning of the tally. Thanks to John McDaniel, the Expo's executive producer. He had huge support from Carla Harris, Mindy Perry, Karen Knabb, and J.T. Argo, one of our deacon moderators. Our ministry leaders should be contacting you in the next week. But if you don't hear anything, hey, be proactive. Call the church office or contact that ministry. Ask for your assignment. Our goal is 100% participation. Everybody signed up to help somewhere. Literally signed up, okay? Like, ink on paper. And for those who haven't enlisted yet, the Expo continues over at the cafe every week at our new Ministry Central table. You can go there on Sunday, you can check out all the serving opportunities, and you can register to help. This Sunday, we begin a 3-month series on the greatest sermon ever preached. I know it's great because I didn't preach it. Jesus did. His Sermon on the Mount. You might call it the Jesus Manifesto. And he summarizes in these 3 chapters of Matthew 5, 6, and 7. It takes just 18 minutes to preach that whole sermon. He summarizes the most important lessons of life. This sermon changed the fundamental values and worldview of what became Christian civilization. And as summer winds down, we finish our Living Beyond Myself series. You remember, we've been preaching a Jesus series, and we're returning to our focus on Jesus. Remember when Cliff preached on John chapter 3, Nicodemus, and Bob Quadro preached on John chapter 4, the woman at the well. Those episodes belong to the early ministry of Jesus in Judea. Now Jesus moves north, back to his home country in Galilee, and he begins a preaching ministry there. And Matthew captures the core of Jesus' preaching in what's called the Sermon on the Mount. He goes up, Jesus does, on a mountainside, just like Moses went up on Mount Sinai. And he delivers the new law, which is really the fulfillment of the old law, right? To the new Israel, which is the church. And that should be an exciting series. And we start this Sunday. This Sunday also marks the 400th anniversary of the publication of the King James Bible. Certainly the most influential English language translation ever. When I was a young Christian, that was the only Bible there was, King James. Now there are dozens or more translations, some very literal, like the New King James Version, the New American Standard Version, the English Standard Version. Some are more colloquial, right, like the Message or the New Living Translation. And some are in between, like the New International Version, what we call the NIV, which is in our pew racks. This Sunday we're going to celebrate the KJV, King James Version, by praying the Lord's Prayer, right? We all learned it in the King James, and reciting the 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And in October, in fact, I'm going to be beginning a 4-part Wednesday evening series at our Acts dinners on the King James Bible. It has a fascinating history, and we'll also be looking at the spiritual and cultural impact on America and the whole English-speaking world of the King James Version. We're going to read and admire some of the most beautiful and memorable passages in that Bible. This Sunday is our last summertime Arise service at 8 a.m. in the chapel. Tim will be preaching, and he's concluding with a kind of postscript sermon on a series that he's been preaching called Getting Over Yourself. 2 Sundays from now brings us to September 11. That's a communion Sunday, and also Mariners are sponsoring their annual FOPC all-church picnic over at Fair Oaks Park. I'm pointing over to the park right now, right after church. And you can go to the website, our church website, and print out a special coupon that entitles you to wear shorts to church on that Sunday. Okay? You just show it to Vince Rainey, who's going to be wearing one of his very natty suits. He owns about 24 of them, and he'll let you in even if you're wearing shorts. Music, games, fun for kids and for grown-ups, good food, great fellowship on 9/11. And yes, we are going to be having a time of prayer and remembrance because that's the 10th anniversary of 9/11. Government leaders are urging churches to ring bells at 10 a.m. on Sunday. I got to see if we can do that. That'd be appropriate. But let me say this. A church picnic sends an important message on 9/11 that we've recovered. Life goes on. We choose celebration over fear and anger, and we're not going to let the bad guys, right, completely rearrange or sabotage our traditions and values. So come to the picnic. If you're actually looking for a more sober series of commemoration, Sacramento chaplains are commending a 2 p.m. service on the east side of the Capitol, on the east steps of the Capitol, and you can go to our church website and we'll tell you about that. Sunday, September 25th, the last Sunday of this month, we'll be honoring the new president of Prison Fellowship. His name is Garland Hunt. He's the successor to Chuck Colson, who is the leader and founder of Prison Fellowship for many years. By the way, several in our church volunteer regularly in prison ministry over at Folsom. That was one of the tables at our expo. Well, summer's winding down, fall is starting up, and that means back to school for kids and youth and college. How about if we all go back to school? I just want to say, if you have taken a vacation from the regular spiritual habits and disciplines of Bible reading, prayer, Sunday worship, small group Bible study, and ministry, i.e. volunteering, let's go back to school. Let's go back to those things. Let's get back on track. You can go to our church website and click for a daily Bible reading program. It is the responsibility of every committed Christian, this means you, to stay in spiritual shape. And these are the habits, the ones I've mentioned are the habits that keep us healthy and what is, like it says in Titus 3:1, ready to do whatever is good. Okay? Anyway, congratulations. If you've listened to this video email blast this far, you can go to our church website and print out a free ice cream cone as your reward for such love and perseverance. I love you too. And that sometimes requires perseverance. Haha, just kidding. Okay, I love you, church. See you on Sunday.